Arsenal because they are the top. They are on top. They have 10 fixtures to go. Yes. So Arsenal are playing City next, which is on the 31st of March, and then they play Luton at home. Then they are away to Brighton. Then they host Aston Villa. Then they are away to Wolves, and then they are away to Spurs. Then they host Bournemouth. Then they are at Old Trafford. They finish at home versus Everton. Okay, when I look at it this way, there are tough games there. Of course, City away, it's hard. I think Wolves away might be tricky, depending on how Wolves are feeling. Spurs definitely will be a bit tricky, but I think Arsenal have enough to beat Spurs. But I think that will be a tricky game. And then Old Trafford might be sticky, because this is the kind of game I think that Nani likes, Ten Hag. Difficult, stay compact, everyone behind the ball. Anthony must start that one to run up and down and do his defensive work. Hopefully they'll have Højlund back. But I feel like their tough games are those ones. I think...
And Villa?
No, I think they'll beat Villa.
Villa at home.
Arsenal at the Emirates, Arsenal will beat Villa. Because that high line that Villa play where everyone is 0-10-0. Yeah, I think it will help them. I think so. I look at, that's the way I see it, but that's just me. And let me read it for you guys, the other one. So after that, it would be Liverpool, yeah? So Liverpool fixtures. Liverpool play today. Once they play today, their next game would have been Everton, but it's been postponed because of something or the other. So then they play Brighton at home, Sheffield at home, and United at Old Trafford, and then Palace at home, Fulham away, West Ham away, Spurs at home, Aston Villa away, then Wolves at home. The tricky games, actually, I think it's because they beat United anyway, regardless. They have this thing where they just, it won't be 5, but they and because kuna ile machungu ya 0-0. Kuna ile machungu ya 0-0. Hiyo machungu itakuwa. I think their problem might be Spurs. You know, Spurs have this thing where they could either crush you or you crush them. Spurs, you never know what you're getting from them. But I look at that and I think their finish is not too bad.
Yeah, and then Aston Villa.
What do you think?
Aston Villa away could be.
Yeah, but see, Aston Villa play the same way, home and away. Aston Villa push up.
They play the same kind of way.
Yeah, they push up. They high line. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not bad. At least it's okay.
So
it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
I think the Man United game will be a tricky one, and I also think Aston Villa, depending on how top 4 is, because if Spurs beat Liverpool, then Aston Villa have to beat Liverpool.
Yeah, but the only difference being now Liverpool are home versus Spurs, which is a different ball game.
Exactly.
But in the event that happens, then Aston Villa need to win that game. So it will depend on that result against Spurs, and then we see how Aston Villa will react.
Haya, let's go to Teddy's team, because that's the story iko hapo. Brighton, that should be easy. But then Arsenal.
Tough.
Okay, actually it's Arsenal next.
Yeah.
So Arsenal next, then Villa at home. I think that's easy, because Villa will attack and they'll pick them out. They are away to Palace, which I think is always tricky.
It's always tough.
It's always tricky. Then they play Luton at home. You ignore that one. They play Tottenham
away.
Finally, Tottenham has a say in this title race.
Yeah, it's playing everyone.
Everyone is playing.
And then the Nottingham one, ignore it. The Wolves one, ignore it. I think the only thing is that their finish inaweza kuwa mteremko after Spurs. The only reason I say that is by then Wolves will be done for the season. Watakuwa shafunga. Wolves could close their season today. So Wolves will be like Cancun. It's Cancun. Yeah, Cancun. Fulham will be the same way. It's season over. West Ham, of course, will have finished a long time ago. Hata coach anaenda. They'll be fine. So I feel for them, the tougher beat is in the next 4 games.
Yeah.
Because this story Arsenal, na Villa, na Palace, na Brighton up.
Essentially the next month.
For me, I think it's, yes, like you said, it's going to be tough because these teams are really tough teams, and we aren't at our best form because we've just been stuttering. But as much as we're saying that, we're still in the top 3. We're still in the title race. So Arsenal, Villa, not Villa, sorry, and the other teams, I think it's going to be tough for us. And if we win the next 4 games, I think we'll win the title. Because after that, we'll have the confidence. I'm sure Pep by then will be able to know what is going right, what's not going right. And it's the final third of the season. And Pep doesn't like to do ifs and buts. He's like, we either go this way or this other way.
So who was the easiest running?
Definitely City.
I'm left on myself.
Eh?
I'm left on because after going all through that one, we come to a conclusion that everyone is playing 4 of the top 6 and everyone is playing 2 of the bottom 5.
But
So
I
just
think-
handle your business.
That's interesting.
Sort of
That's,
balance,
that's
exactly.
no, I like
Sammy.
that's from the start point of view, like the
Yeah.
pure
Yeah.
start, which I get. It's the pure start. Now let's break it down to if you're playing top 4 of the top, we said
4
4 of the top 6. But out of the 4 of the top 6, which
Yeah.
ones do you have at home? Which ones do you have away?
Wait,
I think
that's
now it
another
starts to
factor
matter.
as
Yes,
well,
yes.
You
yeah.
see,
And then
for
when
us-
do you play
For
them?
For us,
Because
they're
I-
coming
I-
in fast compared to yours. At least you have breaks in between. For us,
Yours
they're
is
coming
back
in-
to back to back.
Yes.
Yeah, because City are playing just back to back to
Yeah,
back.
and maybe
like,
again-
they played United last week. They play Liverpool today. The next one is Arsenal. Like they are coming.
Yeah, but it's
And
not-
then maybe
the
again-
pressure is not too immense now as compared to the last
No,
4
no,
or 5 games of the season.
Ah man, we
Na
ukwe tu mbele ya
tukiongeza
watu.
tena-
No, because if you let me tell you, if you're going to face Manchester United and Spurs in the last 4 games of the season, the pressure is cranked up.
And
if
maybe-
you're
yeah.
fighting for the title, it's cranked up. It's not the same as if you're facing them with 10 games to go.
And maybe another factor as
It's not the
well.
same.
How many other competitions are those teams in?
Ah
Because
no.
now the FA, the Champions League as well.
And
So
yours-
there are factors, especially when for injuries or whatever. They always
nah.
are
It's not a factor. For us, it's not a
Last
factor.
season
For
we
you-
thought so,
for
and
you
then
guys.
It's not a
last
factor.
season
guys.
we thought
Yes.
so, but then
Yeah.
it didn't work. And I'll remind you why. We thought if Arsenal get out of everything and just concentrate on the league, they'll be fine. They got out of everything, and then they were not fine. So all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you just win the game in front of you. You don't worry too much.
I actually think that the number of games does count this time.
Yeah,
Why?
This time it does count because we have seen players getting injured
the injuries.
because of the number of games they've played. Look, a good case is for example Liverpool and City.
Yeah.
City especially, De Bruyne's injury was not supposed to happen. If you guys played less games and if he was not indulging too many games
No.
of high intensity.
No.
Now, here's the thing.
Ifs and buts.
Pause, Elijah. KDB got injured the first game of the season.
Yeah.
First game of the season.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Yeah.
And even he said in the pre-match, he actually said, I am surprised to be starting, if you remember, because I really haven't had much of a preseason. It was the opening game of the season. But Pep, in his Pep way, he decided, you've barely had a preseason, but let's just throw you in there. Let's see what you can do. And of course, the bagger got injured until December. So it's not even that he played that many games.
No, I think he's saying because
It's
remember
not-
Kevin
I'm
De
not talking
Bruyne.
about now, I'm talking about the culmination maybe in the last
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
because remember
last
Kevin De
week.
Bruyne dropped out in the final of the UEFA
he
Champions
got
League.
injured in the final. the first
Exactly,
time.
but that's what we are saying. Look, any other coach who is not Pep does not play him. They were playing who? Burnley. They were playing Burnley. Like why risk your best player? Is he your captain? Your best player,
Yes.
your captain, against Burnley, away from home, in the opening game of the season, a guy who limped off the Champions League. Why just not wait? It's just the way Pep has a bench of 14 players and decides to make no sub. You know those games where Pep just makes no sub, and you're there thinking, but my guy, you have all these guys. No, he'll not. That's look. I honestly don't think those games are that many for a team to say, oh, let's no, just win the game in front of you. And if you can't, put children. Klopp is very good with putting children in the FA Cup. Put children. Let them wangangane huko. That's my point. Look, I don't think there should be any excuses. I think kila mtu ashinde game zake, watu wakutane 10 games from now. I think Liverpool have a slightly easier running.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool and Arsenal have slightly easier run-ins. I think City have a hard one because the games are back to back to back. But then City have earned the right for it to be difficult. They have a great squad. They have an incredible squad. They have they and whichever way, and this I stole this from the guy for Rio Presents 5. He said whichever way this goes, there's a bit of history being made. Either Liverpool win the 20th, either City become the first one to win 4 in a row, or Arsenal win the first one in 20 years. Either way, there's some bit of history record being made. I stole that from him. Yeah, I did. I thought it was a really brilliant line. So either, and he was saying that as a United fan. So he was like, either way, I am in pain. So he said, because if this happens, it's 20. If this happens, it's 20 years. If this happens, it's 4 in a row. 4 in a row, they break United. United never did 4. So he was like, whichever way, I'm feeling pain. And I thought it was a brilliant line.
Yeah.
Anyway,